Welcome back, everyone. Buckle up because this week's deep dive is going to be wild. We're talking AI tools that can practically make the coffee and write the script for you
Now,
almost.
maybe not quite that advanced yet, but yeah. This week's news is straight out of a sci-fi movie. Editing videos, composing music, even predicting how you're feeling. AI is on a roll.
No kidding. Before we dive into all that, though, how about that SpaceX booster landing, huh? Talk about sticking the landing.
Pretty incredible display of human ingenuity, you have to admit. Seeing that rocket come back down, landing right on the platform,
Heck, it was nothing.
makes you realize what we can achieve when we really put our minds to it. And that same innovative spirit is driving some seriously cool AI advancements these days, especially in the creative realm.
Speaking of, Adobe just wrapped up their annual Adobe Max conference, and boy, did they bring the AI heat.
They really went all in this year,
Yeah.
especially for video and image generation.
Sure.
Their big reveal was this thing called Adobe Firefly. They're claiming it's the only ethical AI video model out there because it's trained entirely on licensed content.
Ethical AI. That's a bold claim. So they're pulling from Adobe stock and public domain material, and that makes it okay.
I guess that's their argument, yeah. Adds an interesting wrinkle to the whole debate, don't you think? It will be fascinating to see how that definition of ethical AI holds up, especially as these tools get even more powerful.
No kidding. Speaking of powerful, did you see that new generative extend feature for Premiere Pro they announced? Seems like a game changer for video editors, being able to just fill in gaps in footage automatically.
Yeah, no more searching for hours to find the perfect cutaway shot, that's for sure. It's all about making the creative process smoother. And it's not just video editing. Photoshop got some love too with this new tool called Find Distractions.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You can just click on something that's not supposed to be there, like a stray cable or a photo bomber, and poof, gone.
Content-aware fill just went to a whole new level, right? And those are just the tools they're releasing to the public. Adobe also gave a sneak peek at some experimental AI projects they're working on, and some of this stuff is pretty mind-blowing.
Like what?
Well, there's this one called Project Perfect Blend. It's all about fixing the lighting in composited images. So you know when you're trying to blend two images together, but the shadows just look off.
Oh, tell me about it. Drives me crazy.
Well, this tool supposedly takes care of all that, makes everything look super realistic.
That would be amazing. What else?
All right, so for all the time-lapse fans out there, how about Project Clean Machine? It's designed to automatically remove those annoying flashes and artifacts that pop up in time-lapse footage.
Oh, that's a lifesaver. Especially if you've ever spent hours trying to clean that stuff up manually, it's the worst.
Yeah, tedious doesn't even begin to describe it. And then there's Project Hi-Fi. It kind of reminds me of NVIDIA Canvas, where you can create these photorealistic rooms and objects just by sketching them out.
Right.
Well, Project Hi-Fi is like that, but even more advanced.
Wow, and I thought NVIDIA Canvas was already blowing my mind.
Yeah, the speed at which we've gone from simple image editing to generating entire scenes is pretty incredible. And speaking of generating entire scenes, get a load of this. Project Scenic. This one lets you create full-blown 3D environments. You can add elements, move them around, change the lighting, and then generate these stunning images from any angle you want.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying I could basically have my own virtual film set right on my computer?
That's the idea. Can you imagine the possibility?
That's insane.
Right. And for all the designers listening, I think Project Remix-a-Lot is going to be your new best friend. It can automatically resize and reformat designs to fit any screen size, and it keeps all the elements visually consistent.
No more manually adjusting layouts for every single social media platform.
Exactly. Huge time saver. And that frees up designers to, actually design instead of fiddling around with pixels all day.
Now that's what I call working smarter, not harder. Out of all those crazy projects Adobe teased, two really seem to get everyone talking. Project Supersonic and Project Turntable. What's the deal with those?
Well, Project Supersonic is kind of mind-blowing. It generates realistic audio that syncs perfectly with your video. You can even use your own voice as input.
Wait, seriously? Like, I could create a voiceover for my video, but it would sound like, I don't know, Morgan Freeman?
Potentially. It's still in development, but that's the general idea. Think about it. You could have entire soundscapes for your videos, all created with AI.
That's insane. But what about Project Turntable? You said that one was a big deal too, right?
Oh, absolutely. This one might not sound as flashy at first, but for animators, it's a game changer. It can intelligently redraw 2D vector shapes from different angles.
Okay, I'm not an animator, so why is that so revolutionary?
Well, traditionally, if an animator wants to show a character from a slightly different angle, they have to redraw every single frame. It's incredibly time-consuming. But with Project Turntable, that process could be automated.
So animators could focus more on the story and the characters and less on the technical stuff.
Exactly. It has the potential to reshape the entire animation workflow.
Adobe definitely stole the show with all those mind-bending AI tools.
They really did.
But they weren't the only ones making waves at Max.
Oh, no, not even close. Kyber, you know them, right?
Yeah, they're the ones with those intuitive AI video tools, right?
That's the one. Well, they really stepped it up this year with their new Kyber Super Studio.
Okay. Super Studio sounds impressive.
It is. They're basically creating an entire AI ecosystem, pulling in tools from other companies like Luma Labs, Black Forest Labs. It's becoming a one-stop shop for all things AI creativity.
So instead of having to jump between different platforms and tools,
Exactly. Everything's right there in one place.
and they've got that super cool node-based interface, right? Like connecting digital building blocks.
Yeah, it's really intuitive. You can drag and drop different AI tools, connect them together to create these visual workflows, generate an image, then manipulate it with another tool, then feed that into a video generation tool.
All within the same platform.
All within the same platform. It's wild. They're really breaking down those barriers between different creative tools, giving users the power to experiment with AI in ways we've never seen before.
I love that. It's like they're saying, here's a playground, go nuts.
Exactly. And while Kyber is busy building their AI playground, another platform called Krea AI is going in a slightly different direction. They're all about giving creators more choices.
More choices, how so?
Well, specifically when it comes to video generation models, instead of just offering one or two, they've integrated models from tons of different companies. Luma Labs, Runway, Pika Labs, you name it. It's like a tasting menu for AI video generation.
You get to sample all the different flavors before you commit.
Exactly. Find the perfect style for your project, whatever that might be.
I like it. Speaking of creative projects, musicians out there need to check out Suno's new feature, Scenes. Have you heard of this?
Vaguely, remind me.
It lets you generate original music inspired by images or videos.
Whoa, seriously. So you could take like a picture of a sunset and it'll compose music based on that.
Pretty much, it's a trip. The lines between creative mediums are getting blurrier and blurrier every day.
No kidding. First it was text to image, now it's image to music. What's next?
Who knows? Speaking of what's next, Hagen just launched this thing called Interactive Avatar. It's both cool and kind of creepy at the same time.
What is it?
It's basically a digital version of your face, your voice, your mannerisms.
Whoa, hold on. Like a deep fake, but dot interactive.
Exactly. And the idea is it can attend meetings for you.
Attend meetings on my behalf. I don't know how I feel about that.
Right. It's kind of a glimpse into a future where maybe we don't have to physically be anywhere, which is kind of cool, but also a little freaky.
Definitely a lot to unpack there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we try to wrap our heads around that one, let's move on to Meta. They just released this new AI model called CoTracker 3.
Yeah, I read about this. Big news for video editors and special effects artists.
How so?
CoTracker 3 is all about making object tracking in video way more accurate and efficient.
So no more spending hours trying to get a perfect mask around a moving object.
Exactly. Huge time saver, especially for those complex VFX shots.
Love it when AI makes life easier. And it's not just the tech companies diving headfirst into AI. Looks like Hollywood wants in on the action, too. Did you hear about Meta's new partnership with Blumhouse Productions?
Blumhouse, as in the horror movie people.
The one and only.
Wow, okay. That's unexpected. What are they up to?
They're teaming up to explore the potential of AI-generated short films.
Interesting. So instead of using AI to just like insert a scary monster into a scene, they're going to try and create entire films.
That's the idea. Should be interesting to see what they come up with.
No kidding. It's cool to see this kind of creative experimentation happening. But back on the tech side of things, NVIDIA just made a big splash with their new open source language model, Nemotron 70B.
NVIDIA's in the language model game now, too. I thought that was all the rage last year.
It's a crowded field, that's for sure. But Nemotron is already outperforming some of the big names. It's a really impressive piece of tech.
That's awesome. Especially since it's open source, right?
Yep. Meaning it's free for anyone to use and build upon. Really democratizes access to this kind of cutting-edge AI technology.
I love that. Open source AI for the win. But it's not just language models, right? Didn't Mistral also release some new AI models designed to work on laptops and phones?
They did, and that's a big deal because it means you can do some pretty sophisticated AI processing right on your device. No need to rely on the cloud.
That's huge for people who are concerned about privacy.
Absolutely. And speaking of making AI more accessible, OpenAI finally launched a dedicated ChatGPT app for Windows users.
It's about time.
Right. It seems like every week AI is becoming more user-friendly and integrated into our everyday lives.
Which I'm all for. Like
Right.
Perplexity, remember them? The platform that combines web searches with your own personal knowledge base?
Yeah, I've been using that a lot lately. It's pretty slick.
Well, they just rolled out this new feature called Spaces, where you can upload documents and then ask questions based on the information in those documents.
Oh. So it's like having a research assistant who has read everything you have. That's amazing.
Right. And for all you podcasting nerds out there, Notebook LM just updated their AI podcast generation feature.
Oh, yeah. How's that coming along?
Well,
Last I heard, it was still a bit rough around the edges.
it's getting there. The big update is you can give much more specific instructions to the AI hosts now. Like you can really tailor the tone and the style of the podcast. So instead of just saying, hey, AI, make me a podcast about climate change, I can now be like, make me a podcast about climate change, but make it sound like David Attenborough is having a casual chat with like a stand-up comedian.
Exactly. You're in the director's chair now, even when it's AI doing the heavy lifting.
That's awesome. But AI isn't just revolutionizing creative fields, right? I mean, even good old Dropbox is getting in on the action.
They are. They just launched this new feature called Dash, and it's basically AI-powered search.
So instead of spending hours clicking through folders trying to find that one file I need,
Dash will just surface it for you instantly based on whatever you remember about it.
that's amazing. It's like having a personal assistant for my computer.
Pretty much. And speaking of making things easier, Amazon's jumping into the ring with a new AI tool for advertisers.
Oh, yeah. What's that all about?
Well, you know how important visuals are for ads, right? Got to grab people's attention.
Especially in our scroll-happy world.
Exactly. So this new AI tool will help advertisers create eye-catching product images and videos, even if they don't have a huge budget.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of cool, have you seen Apple's new iPad mini?
I have. The tech specs are impressive, but the real story is all the buzz around how they're going to integrate it with Apple's AI features.
It's like they're playing their AI cards close to their chest.
They are. Everyone's waiting to see what they're going to do next.
It's going to be big, whatever it is. But in the meantime, MTech Labs is making moves with their new emotion tracking smart glasses.
Yeah, I read about those. They sound straight out of a sci-fi movie. Sensors in the glasses analyze your facial expressions, and supposedly they can be used for everything from mental health monitoring to, get this, dietary tracking.
Okay, now that's both fascinating and a little creepy. I'm not sure I'm ready for my glasses to know I'm craving pizza.
Right. It's a brave new world out there. But hey, before we go full Black Mirror on this, I wanted to end on a lighter note.
Yes, please, give me some good news for once.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with AI, but it's still a big win for consumers. The FTC just announced a new click-to-cancel rule for online subscriptions.
Wait, for real? No more jumping through hoops, talking to 5 different customer service reps, and sending a carrier pigeon just to cancel a subscription.
That's the dream. One click and you're free. It was honestly long overdue.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And with so many AI tools moving to subscription models these days, this new rule is going to come in handy. Well, there you have it. Another week, another avalanche of AI news. From self-landing rockets to emotion-sensing glasses, it's clear this technology isn't slowing down anytime soon.
Not even close. It really makes you think.
Yeah.
What will they come up with next? And how will we, as a society, decide to use these powerful tools?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this week's Deep Dive. What blew your mind? What has you a little bit concerned? Head over to our website or find us on social media and share your perspective. Until next time, keep exploring.